Are you feeling stuck with your social media strategy? Feel like you've tried every recipe in the cookbook, but you can't seem to catapult your personal brand or business? Well, let's not kid ourselves. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook's algorithm have become increasingly competitive, making it difficult to get organic reach and hence grow your business. Well, hang on tight because there's a new kid on the block, TikTok, which currently is #2 most downloaded app in the App Store with around 665 million users and growing. Individuals are spending as much as an hour daily on the app, so there's plenty of attention. And unlike popular belief, 34% of its users are 30 and above and growing as more professionals, businesses, and influencers, Gary Vee actually is on the platform, are starting to experiment with the platform. So this is your ripe opportunity as a business to ride the wave before everyone else jumps into the bandwagon. So the purpose of this class is to provide you with a quick TikTok tutorial along with examples of photographers, professionals, businesses who are also using the app so you can start brainstorming as to the type of content you could potentially be posting. And so you can have the tools in place to start hitting the ground with TikTok and start getting some traction, gaining some eyeballs, growing your community at a fraction of the cost of any of the other social media platforms. So who am I exactly? Well, my name is Luna Vega. I'm a digital marketing consultant with 10 plus years of experience in the industry. I've helped multiple Fortune 500 companies, e-commerce brands, you name it. And my goal is to teach you the latest tactic, being on the trenches on a daily basis so you know exactly how to take your business to new heights. I'm excited to see you inside. So why are brands, marketers, and businesses starting to pay attention to TikTok? Actually, because it's surpassing the likes of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Yes, the younger demographic are spending more time on the platform. Additionally from that, what's happening, there's a ripple effect where older generations are also becoming intrigued and downloading the app. So you might have already downloaded the app, felt completely confused. You saw a bunch of teenagers goofing around, whether it's doing dance moves and duet. And personally, that's how I felt when I first downloaded the app about a year ago or so. And the reason that I didn't necessarily pay attention to it until probably 6 months or so ago was the fact that I felt a little intimidated in the content creation aspect of it. It felt very time consuming. And as a busy professional, I asked myself, well, how am I going to be able to manage yet another social media platform? Now, I've been playing around, like I mentioned, for a few months with an account for one of my e-commerce brands, and I've actually realized it's a lot easier than I originally anticipated, as you can upload different clips, you can react to different videos, so there's plenty of opportunities for you as a brand to come up with fun content. Now, it might require some additional brainstorming at the beginning, but like any new platform, it's just a matter of getting used to it and gaining some momentum.
Great. So let's get your account set up. You'll have to click on the Me icon. I'm going to link my account with Facebook. So it's just going to ask me to continue, which I'm doing now. And here we go. Weirdly enough, I already have 35 followers, I guess. I don't remember opening an account before, but actually what I want to do is edit my profile because I want to change my username so it's consistent with all my other social media accounts. So I'm going to write Miss Luna Vega. You probably want to do the following so people can find you easily across all different social media platforms. And once I'm done with the following, what I want to do is actually log in and link my Instagram, which I'm going to do now. The reason you want to link your Instagram is that obviously people who discover you on TikTok, you'll want to make sure that they are able to also follow you in the other platforms. All right, so I've done that. And now I actually also want to link my YouTube account. If you have a YouTube, go ahead and do that as well. Great, so I'm all set up. So now I will have to write up my bio. For the bio, you only have 80 characters, which is actually less than Instagram. So you want to make sure that you are to the point. Use emojis. I personally love using emojis. And then have your mission statement right front and center. In my case, digital marketing boss, that crypto hustle CEO, because I actually have the other TikTok account, that crypto hustle. That's where I've been testing. And then from 9 to 5 slave to freedom, to kind of like paint the picture of what people should be expecting on my profile. So pretty self-explanatory. So congratulations, now that your profile is set up, I'm going to quickly walk you through some of the ways that you can start creating content on TikTok. So you're going to have to press the plus button. As you will see, well, here you're going to see my lovely keyboard. There's different options here. So there's 60 seconds. So you can shoot a 60-second video. You can shoot a 15-second video, and you can also include photo templates. So this is where you're going to select different photos, and it gives you kind of like different photo slide options, as you can see. Great for photographers if you want to do some collage. All right, so let's go back and here on the plus. So personally, what I love about TikTok is that, as you can see, I can record a segment and then I can pause it and then, you know, include like a different shot as you see, etc. As you can see, I can change the speed accordingly. It also gives me timer, which you can see here. So if you need some time, you know, to set things up, if you have your phone on a tripod, you have either 3 seconds or 10 seconds, and then it kind of like starts to count down for you, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, there we go. And then once you're done with all that and you have shot your little mini sequence, if you will, you can select sounds. So you're going to click the check mark. And then as you see here in the bottom, so obviously like this is horrible, but you're going to click the sound feature. And then I like to click the more. The reason being is that, as you can see, it shows you different playlists that are trending, featured, hip hop, etc., new releases. Trending is great because you have an idea of what currently is trending on TikTok. Now, my recommendation for you before you shoot anything is to research what other individuals in your specific niche are posting. Look as well as some of the musics that are going viral, some of the soundtracks that are going viral, and then implement that within your video. So really it's like kind of more of a brainstorming session, if you will. So I'm just going to include like random music here. So this is selected, and there we have it. There's my little mediocre video for you. So extremely easy. Then we just press next. You're going to include hashtags, so very similar to Instagram in that case. So let's say like digital marketing in my case. So there's already 9.5 million. You can allow duet and for people to react. I encourage you to do that as well. And you can also redirect. And so meaning that you can also share this on your Instagram, or you can also send it directly on SMS, etc. Now, TikTok also has an array of filters you can use, much more than Instagram. You could spend days going through all of them. The best way to not feel overwhelmed is to go through the list of trending filters and start saving them by pressing on the little flag in the left-hand side. You can also go through your favorite videos and see which clone they're using on the top left-hand side. And by clicking on it, you'll see videos that have used the same kind of filter. So the best way is for you to start coming up with different ideas without really having the filters into consideration. And then little by little, as you refine that idea, start thinking about which filter you might want to implement, because otherwise, I agree with you, it will be definitely overwhelming. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the different types of content that there is out there so you can start brainstorming and coming up with an editorial calendar. So let's get started. How does the TikTok algorithm work? Well, truth be told, there are a lot of theories out there, but no one knows, especially since the platform isn't being transparent about their algorithm. There are theories floating around which state that for your page hashtag helps your content get discovered. And it's one of the most used hashtags in the platform because of this theory. There are other ones that state that TikTok shows each post to a small batch of users, and based on the ratio of likes to view or engagement to views, this will determine whether that post gets released to a larger batch of users and so on. So this would be fairly similar to the way YouTube and Instagram works, in which based on how many likes and engagement you get. As soon as you post your content, it makes it go viral, if you will. So how can you create content if you don't truly understand the algorithm? Really, the key is researching content that is working in your niche by looking specifically at how many views and likes and comments these individuals are getting, what's their best performing content, and replicating it or optimizing it. This is the best way to get started. So let's review each different types of content that are available on TikTok. The first one is lip syncing, which is pretty self-explanatory. People are simply lip syncing lyrics and adding their personal twist to any of their favorite songs. And this is actually how the platform was started, as TikTok used to be musically, and hence individuals used to strictly lip sync. Next are duet, where two videos are side by side and users respond to someone else's video by either copying the other person or through reacting. If a video has the duet feature turned on, you'll be able to react to it and you can respond to the video from an influencer or someone in your niche to gain traction. A lot of individuals are doing the following, so you can decide to either copy them or do a reaction, anything for comical relief. Next is dancing. You might have noticed that it's extremely popular on the platform. I mean, come on, who doesn't love to watch people dance? Someone you use dancing in a really fun and creative way is actually Walmart with their hashtag Deal Drop Dance for Black Friday. The official video was started by an influencer and it's encouraging other users to respond by simply dancing inside a Walmart. So there's a lot of fun and creative ways that you can start engaging with your users, as you can see, by coming up with different challenges. So challenges, actually, this is what's next, are also very popular. So this is when a specific hashtag will go viral, like for instance the mirror challenge, started by influencers Lisa and Lena, who actually started their career on Musical.ly. They're two twins who are about 14 years old. And since these hashtags are highly searched in the platform, or sometimes they end up in the discover page, it really encouraged people to participate to get their content discovered. So another hashtag that went viral is OK Boomer, but more on that in the next chapter. We're really gonna dig through the Discover tab and trending content. Next, I wanted to show you photo slides and a creative way to use it. Fritz Bacon, who actually is an influencer photographer in New York City, I discovered simply by using the hashtag photography, has a post with one of his most beautiful photo under the rain, and then confesses he caught pneumonia by shooting these beautiful shots. So unlike Instagram, I think you will notice that TikTok is way more raw and encourages people to comment about their real life. Real raw content does really well in the platform, and you will also notice most of the content is done in people's unpolished bedrooms. So he simply did a collage uploading his photos and, well, obviously photos under the rain and including a few video skits. Personally, I think it's pure genius. So now you have an idea of the full range of popular type of contents on the platform. Let's dive in and start drafting your strategy in the next chapter, along with reviewing more accounts.
Before we dive in and talk about content strategy for TikTok, something to keep into consideration is that consistency is vital. Like any other social media platform, you must be consistent and post regularly. I recommend on a daily basis and trying to do a 30-day challenge to gain momentum. Additionally from that, this is going to give you insights as to what works or what doesn't work. As you can see the different data on a daily basis as you upload content. You need to pick a very specific niche. I'll go more into detail about the following. Start thinking about what best represent you as a brand. So if you're a photographer, what kind of photography? If you're a makeup artist, what type of makeup artist are you? If you're a business, let's say you're a digital marketer like myself, try to pick a specific niche and try to provide specific tips so you can differentiate yourself from everyone else out there. Like I mentioned, I've seen dentists, lawyers on the app. There's a little bit of everything. So you need to really brand yourself and have a specific hashtag that you can identify yourself with. All right, so let's jump through the slides and get started.
So let's chat content strategy for TikTok. The reason being is that there's a lot of accounts on there on TikTok who are just aiming to get TikTok famous by doing outlandish things, just like in Instagram in the early days, if you will. The most beautiful photograph would enable you to go viral. Well, really the problem with this method though is that you can spend a lot of time trying different things that don't necessarily fit your personality and brand. So really the key is to stay true to your personality, because TikTok or Instagram fame doesn't mean much if you aren't able to monetize from it to some degree. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use comedy on your channel or dancing if that's something that is part of you and your brand. But beyond all gimmicks, you really need to start thinking about what your overall goal is. So perhaps you already are an influencer or you want to position yourself as an influencer in your niche. So this means really establishing yourself as an expert in your field, whether it's photography, design, makeup, etc. So you need to start thinking about what differentiates you from others in your field, and perhaps you've already done this kind of work. Perhaps you have a photography technique, perhaps you have a makeup technique that's different. Obviously, write this down so you can later start brainstorming about how you can integrate this differentiator into your content. So I'm going to show you a quick video by Hello Costume 16. It's actually a great example. In this particular video, they show a couple of marker hacks people can apply. The content is very unique. They are differentiating themselves through this particular technique, and they are also setting their credibility. Now you can see it's pretty self-explanatory. They're using the hashtag design as well. So this is the first thing. Perhaps you're trying to set yourself as an influencer in your specific niche. The next one could be that you're a business that wants to generate more sales or have greater brand awareness, because again, the benefit of being on TikTok is that there's so many opportunities to still have decent organic traffic, something that is becoming increasingly difficult to reach with Instagram or Facebook. So, and the reason being, and we'll talk more about the following, is because the hashtags are not as saturated. There's just not as much competition. So you want to generate more traffic by leveraging the power of TikTok. You want people to start recognizing your brand, etc. So just like any other goal, you need to write down what is your unique value proposition within your business. Again, what is your differentiator? So it's in the back of your head, and really focus on the uniqueness of your product. So I'm going to show you a video now, which is great. It's costume for dog. They're also riding the wave of the panda dog, which is a trend in China. It's extremely comical in this particular case, and it's driving to an Amazon page. So more on that later. As of today, this feature is not available, unfortunately, in the USA, but it's just a matter of time. Regardless, you could see how this video piqued the curiosity of users, and it's a great way to put your brand on the map. So if you're a business, you'll want to apply again the 80-20 rule, meaning 20% showcasing your product and 80%, which is perhaps behind the scene content, talking about your specific product, providing tips, informational tips. So all of this goes back to research. So let's move into the next slide. Research is key. So now that you have an understanding of what your goal is with TikTok, either driving people to your website, setting yourself as a brand name, a personality, an influencer, you need to start thinking about what your niche is. Obviously, you probably have already done this homework, but whether you are nail art, design, photography, you need to go through TikTok and start looking for hashtags specific to that niche and see what you find. So the good news is, like I mentioned earlier, TikTok is a relatively new platform, so you can rank easily for more generic hashtags like designer, fashion, you name it. So know your niche, know who your content is made for, and know who your audience is. So let me show you a few examples so you can start brainstorming. This video by Logo and Logo Well, he simply uses the hashtag designer, by the way. And as you can see, his video is simply making fun of Comic Sans font. So if you take a look at his account, a lot of the videos have kind of the same vibe. This can be easily replicated and start setting you apart as an expert. He's actually garnered 285,000 views with this video alone. Another example under the hashtag photography is a video by Travel Pal, where he showcases his photos and before and afters being edited. Again, not your usual TikTok content. Gets to the point, showcases his unique talent, and sets him as a credible professional. So under the lawyer hashtag, there's actually a famous lawyer who became TikTok famous. It's simply at the lawyer. I mean, he's a character and you can see he enjoys just goofing around. And if this is you, have fun and let your creativity go wild by all means. Now, I want to show you another example actually of Ethanos Roth Law. So he just started his account actually in October 2019 and he's already has garnered 20K followers. He simply provides some easy to follow tips. As you can see, they're very to the point, easy to follow and bite-sized information. So again, you know, I think a lot of people fall into the trap of wanting to create content that is very TikTok related. So like whether dance, lip syncing, etc. But if that's something you're not comfortable, you can see from this research and from what I'm pulling as these example that there's actually other types of content that you can make based on what you're comfortable with. And finally, I wanted to share a young entrepreneur account, Boxed Up Entrepreneur, who provides entrepreneurial tips on TikTok. Also a great source of inspiration if you are a digital marketer in your field, etc. One of his videos that went viral, he breaks down a method of making money by arbitraging cars. It's simply made entertaining while showcasing his knowledge. So as you can see, plenty of examples. They're very easy to find. All you have to do is go on the Discover tab, start entering different hashtags based on your niche and going through the content. So let's plan your strategy. Let's recap here. What I want you to do is to be clear about your specific goal. I want you to look for content under your niche's hashtag and look at the best performing content. Start dissecting as to why that content performed well. What elements made it go viral per se. So write down and brainstorm ideas for your account and include the 5 top ideas that you can replicate / optimize. Have fun with this. All right, so I'll see you in the next chapter. So let's talk about what makes TikTok so much more appealing than Instagram right now. It's because you can rank your content for growth. And it's much easier than Instagram because there's less competition. As you saw in the earlier chapter, lawyer, there's only a few lawyer, design, also not that many options currently available. So this is why you have to really make sure that you start as soon as you finish this class, your TikTok account and start posting content. So the idea here is that obviously you need to ride trends, just like in Instagram, where you making it to the discovery page is how it's going to help you get discovered, gain followers, gain viewers, etc. The more frequently you're going to have your content ranking high for a specific hashtag, whether it's trending hashtags, which are in the Discover tab, or specific hashtags that are to your niche, then obviously it's going to help you with your organic growth. Now, hashtags aren't as competitive yet, and you can get away with posting generic hashtags right now. So when you're planning your content, a couple things I want you to actively look for. First and foremost, music trends. So you can browse videos. You're going to start seeing certain songs that people are using over and over again. And the app also indicates what songs are viral when you are ready to post. Using trending songs actually does help because it piques people's curiosity to see how you're going to be using the song and how you're creatively using it, if you will. Hashtag trends goes without saying, self-explanatory. When you go in the Discover tab and start looking for potential hashtag trends you can leverage, you can start thinking as to how you can apply it for your specific niche. And then challenges are a little bit of the same thing. There's a lot of different hashtag challenges that you can participate in. So my recommendation is to start looking at how are individuals in your niche, what type of content that they're posting. And then the second thing is go through these trends to see how you can apply it as well. So let's look at some example. One of them is okay boomer, which is an ageist catchphrase, an internet meme that gained popularity throughout 2019, used to dismiss or mock attitudes attributed to baby boomers. There's also a song, Okay Boomer, by Peter Cooley, which is used in all of these different TikTok videos. So here are some examples. And as you can see, it's just mocking boomers. So a lot of these individuals are just mocking their parents, if you will. Another popular trend is Truth or Dare, which is a filter available on TikTok. Simply press the Truth or Dare, and the TikTok app will provide you with challenges to perform for your audience, from showing the ugly photos on your phone to asking you to beatbox. So also extremely fun. I encourage you to participate in that. So what I want you to do is spend a considerable amount of time through the Discover tab and start jotting down different ideas as they come to you, and think as to how you can implement some of these ideas within your content. It's good to test and see how that performs for you. Now, using hashtags. Definitely you want to use hashtag. This is how your content is going to become discoverable. You might want to consider using niche hashtags, challenge hashtags. So niche hashtags is design and whatnot, and obviously there's more available out there, like beyond just design. I'm sure there's sub hashtags as well. So I'm going to share with you a tool that you can use, but you can also do it directly in the app. So challenge hashtags if you're participating in one, generic hashtags as well, make money online, etc. So play around with some of the hashtags that you've been using on Instagram and see what how many individuals are using them, and test them out to get a sense of how they're doing. And music hashtags as well, I recommend to test those. A tool that you can use to do your hashtag research on TikTok is voodoo.run. Now, it's still in beta, so it does crash from time to time, but it can make it easier than looking through the app. And so this way, I would recommend that you put together a list of 10 to 20 hashtags that you can recycle through based on the type of content that you're using. Now, the key with TikTok is to be creative. Creativity is king. I'm going to show you an example that's a little bit provocative, and I apologize for that. But the reason I'm showing it is because it's a really clever way of using the green screen filter in order to tease people to go to a YouTube channel. Perhaps you can use this for your specific content. Now, this woman in question has photos of her and a past lover, and essentially she's telling people to go and watch the full story on her YouTube channel, which is linked to her profile. Now, obviously, the content that she's posting does help. It's piquing people's curiosity. It's, like I said, a little bit controversial, but perhaps you can find a twist and a way to leverage this concept for your specific TikTok. I mean, as you can see, she's got 1.3 million views, which is quite substantial for TikTok. Now, finally, I hate to break it to you, but in order to really be successful on TikTok, you are going to have to post daily, at least for 30 days. Why? Because, well, you want to be consistent in order to see growth. You also need to start getting data to get an understanding of the type of content that's working well for you. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be an ongoing testing process. There's even people out there that recommend posting as many as 3 times a day, which is a lot. I get it. If you have a life and you have a job, it is very time consuming. Now, think as to what makes sense for you. Posting daily for 30 days is the best strategy as you get started. And the more active you are on the platform, the easier it's going to be for you to grow. Yes, TikTok can be extremely intimidating as it does require more creativity than Instagram stories, if you will. But look at it this way. What would you rather do? Continue using the same old social media platform which aren't working for you because they're extremely saturated, or start something new and go all in? Well, I'll let you decide. All right, so I want you for this chapter to work on your editorial calendar. We've reviewed quite a few different ideas. Now, make sure that you do a mix of including trending content that you can incorporate, obviously content that is specific to your niche, and try to jot down as many creative ideas as you can. Decide on a style based on content research that you've done and execute. Don't be shy and just get started. In this chapter, let's analyze successful TikTok videos so you can start coming up with your own ideas as to the type of content you want to create. Essentially, I want to provide you with as many examples as possible so you can feel confident when you start creating and planning your content. So let's look and dissect some successful content. First and foremost, what performs well is bite-sized content. Remember, you have anywhere between 15 or 60 seconds. Now, if you're trying to do something that has more of a comedic relief, obviously 15 seconds is easier to pull off than something that's 60 seconds. But overall, bite-sized tips are performing great. So TikTok essentially is a bite-sized platform. So the key is to distill your information to the point in bite-sized tips. So this video that I'm showing you right now, he simply provides tips on how to get cheap flights. And as you can notice, the way he is delivering that information, he's engaging us and keeping us hooked, wanting to watch more. The overall delivery, he is high-pitched and providing us the information rather quickly. So let's watch it.
Tips for traveling when you're young and or broke part 2. How to find cheap flights. I'm gonna find you a flight from America to Europe for under $400 right now. I go to Google Flights. I type in Europe and I click search. Then I go to dates and I click flexible dates. I want a 1-week trip in March. Go as far out as you can go. I look at this map over here and I can see every city in Europe and the price. I go, boom, Barcelona, 272 pounds. I'm in London, so it's showing pounds, but that's like maybe $340. And boom, you're in Barcelona.
Next, you want to be relatable. So mixing the expected with the unexpected. So this is if you're trying to do videos that are more, that have more of a comedy feel to them. Creating scenarios that may seem to be leading one way, but then taking a sudden twist perform really well. So relatable content like these videos, but then you have like an unexpected twist. This is the foundation of comedy. And by all means, now don't feel obligated to create comedy if it doesn't fit with your brand. I just wanted to simply illustrate what performs well in TikTok.
Woohoo! Big summer blowout!
Next, having an element of surprise. So taking something that you do regularly, but add a twist to it, like this fitness video where he's using a TRX in a very unique way. This is likely to pique curiosity and get people to want to watch more. Also, this video of someone with their daily routine, and obviously there's a twist, as no one obviously does this on their daily routine. So really think as to what you can take elements of your business behind the scenes and include a twist to it. Tell a before and after story. Now, we're all familiar with the power of before and after content. On TikTok, the following is used by including it within a narrative, and in some cases by simply adding the appropriate song to the mix, like this fashion outfit video, which plays on the lyrics to showcase multiple outfits. In this class, a variety of examples to get your creative juices going. So think long term and don't get overwhelmed. As you can see, TikTok has so much more to offer than just dancing and lip syncing videos. And as the platform evolves, it really is your opportunity to get your brand discovered organically prior to the platform getting more saturated. So really think long term. You have to post consistently, ideally every day for the first 30 days to really build momentum. And don't forget to have fun. So now let's chat overall how you can monetize as a brand or an influencer. Obviously, the goal purpose is for you to start monetizing. So a couple of things to keep into consideration. Before you start monetizing, if you're an influencer, you need to have at least 1,000 followers, and you'll be able at that point to go live, and people, your followers, can provide you tokens essentially. And this is a potential way of monetizing from your fans. Another thing to keep into consideration is that influencers also are working with brands more proactively on the platform. So if you're someone who is wanting to be an influencer, you can go ahead and actively reach out to different brands, let them know how many followers you have once you reach a certain amount, and start working with these brands. Or if you are a business or e-commerce business, influencer marketing on TikTok is highly recommendable just because you're getting a lot of different eyeballs. And like I mentioned, it's still the wild, wild west. Not as many brands are on the platform yet. So additionally from that, you can also start applying for the Ads TikTok platform. Now, something to keep into consideration is that unfortunately, it's only available right now to bigger brands who are spending 20,000K plus a month. But as the platform evolves, it will become available to a wider audience. So I've included an example of an ad, a native ad of essentially dogs within a costume, and this is driving to an Amazon page. Now, this is something that in the future you'll be able to do. So a note to consider is that since Facebook and Instagram advertising have become increasingly expensive, it's great to keep an eye out on what TikTok will be rolling out, which is again why it's so important for you to jump onto this new platform before anyone else does. As a brand, really, the sky's the limit. This is your opportunity to build a community. You can also start building relationship with influencers within your niche and potentially create collaborations from there. So keep that in mind. Congratulations for finishing the class. TikTok is one of the fastest growing social media platform in the world, and it really does represent an alternative for your social media strategy, an alternative to Instagram, especially if you're not seeing the results that you want, or any other social media platforms out there. And it really allows you to create short videos with music, filters, and some other features, and portray your brand in a different way, whether you're an influencer or a small business. So it could be funny, it could be grungy. It's definitely something that is addictive. And as more and more users start swarming into the platform, this will be your edge by jumping on board early enough. If you snooze, you lose. So I highly encourage you to be consistent. As soon as you finish this class, make sure to start posting ASAP. If you haven't already, I would love to hear from you. Let me know how it's going. Please feel free to share as well your TikTok accounts. Leave a review. Let me know how you liked the class. And you can also find me on social media, Miss Luna Vega, on TikTok, Instagram, and all other social media platforms. Extremely excited to hear about your results and looking forward to hearing about your successes. Bye, guys.
Congratulations, guys, for finishing the class. I'm excited to hear about all of your successes. Please leave me a review. I would love to hear about your experiences and comments if you have any questions. Additionally from that, well, also I had to practice what I preach. You can find me on social media, Miss Luna Vega. Now, don't give up. You snooze, you lose. In 2020, there's plenty of opportunity for you to really start gaining traction on the app. All it takes is just 1 or 2 videos to help you gain momentum. There's plenty of individuals who started just a few months back and they are now the 10K plus or even 100K mark. So it just takes patience and persistence. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. All right, well, until next time, bye.